Welcome back in. The time now is 5:30. Marco Rubio may be looking past Kentucky's caucus Saturday. More on the Florida senator's decision to cancel his trip to Lexington just ahead.
Working on that story for you. Also on WKYT this morning, a married couple will be in court today after police say they badly damaged a downtown Lexington home by setting it on fire.
A man accused of robbing a woman in a Lexington church parking lot will face a judge. More on that case just ahead.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Time to rise and shine here on your Thursday and make it a great day. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a great start to your day. You know, we're looking at getting through a little bit of the cold temperatures to get to the other side.
A little sacrifice, and then next week looks terrific. That's the word from meteorologist Jim Caldwell. He's in this morning for Micah. Good morning.
Especially if you're a fan of getting into the 70s, because that's where we're going to go after we get past this little shot of wintry weather that we're experiencing out there right now. You're seeing the flakes flying across parts of Kentucky. Maybe in a few cases we're getting in on it. It's certainly showing up well above our heads, part of a much larger system that's also bringing some rain across Missouri into Illinois, and that rain will also arrive here later today as well. Right now hovering around 32 degrees in most of central Kentucky, a little bit colder in pockets with 20s to our east. Factor in a very light breeze, and we're talking some mid and upper 20s for a wind chill. Not a big difference out there, guys, but we want to get past the chill and want to start talking about the warm stuff. And we will in that 7-day forecast. I'll break it down coming up.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Jim.
Well, we are continuing to reach out to Marco Rubio's campaigns this morning. This is after the Florida senator announced he will forgo his stop in Kentucky tomorrow.
And we're asking why the cancellation. The late decision to cancel his only scheduled trip to the Bluegrass comes just 2 days before Kentucky's GOP caucus. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with more on how this important week in presidential politics is shaping up. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. That's right. This time tomorrow morning, security teams would have been sweeping through the Lexington Center to prepare for Marco Rubio's rally. As you mentioned, we have been reaching out to his campaign to try to get an idea of why he canceled his stop in Lexington, but so far we have not received an explanation. Now, Kentucky's caucus is on Saturday, and Senator Ted Cruz is still planning to bring his campaign right to Kentucky voters. His father will be stumping for him in Louisville and Bowling Green both today and tomorrow. Pastor Rafael Cruz plans to mainly target evangelical Christians during his visit. It's a critical week for Cruz's campaign as he aims to win the Republican nomination in July. Kentucky voters will get to vote their presidential preference in just 2 days. Voting hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Every voter has been assigned to a caucus location, and there are 4 in Lexington. Of course, the state Republican Party has all the information about where you have been assigned to your caucus location, and we have that information for you up on our website on WKYT.com. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, Donald Trump squares off against Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, John Kasich at the 11th GOP debate in Detroit, Michigan tonight. And this is after picking up 7 states on Super Tuesday. The billionaire frontrunner been fending off a text from Mitt Romney, who's expected to say something this morning, and other Republican rivals who believe he's tarnishing the party's brand.
A lot of speculation about Romney's speech this morning and what he'll be saying. The former Republican presidential nominee expected to call out Trump publicly for the first time. He's delivering a speech this morning in Salt Lake City. Don Champion has the latest from the campaign trail.
Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump is locked in another battle, this time against Mitt Romney, who is expected to blast the billionaire during a speech on the state of the GOP race today.
I want universal coverage.
Trump posted this video to his Facebook page Wednesday night, questioning Romney's conservative credentials. So far, Romney has attacked Trump over his refusal to release tax returns and failure to immediately disavow KKK leader David Duke. In an open letter, more than 50 prominent Republicans also challenged Trump, but it could backfire.
There's no guarantee. Attacks from the establishment could very well make Trump stronger.
So that's the only part of the plan? Just the lines, the interstate competition?
In tonight's debate, Marco Rubio is expected to step up attacks on Trump, especially over his newly released health care plan that includes repealing Obamacare.
If we choose Donald Trump as our nominee, we will lose in November.
Coming off 2 wins on Super Tuesday, Ted Cruz urged other candidates to drop out of the race.
If you've been supporting Ben Carson or John Kasich or Marco Rubio, all good, honorable men, we welcome you on our team.
Carson withdrew from tonight's debate following the results of Super Tuesday. The retired neurosurgeon says he sees no path forward to the nomination. Don Champion, CBS News.
And Republican voters in Louisiana, Kansas, Maine, and Kentucky will be weighing in on the race during the primaries and caucuses this Saturday. Voters in Louisiana, Kansas, and Nebraska take part in Democratic caucuses on Saturday as well.
Well, they say desperate times call for desperate measures. The upcoming Iditarod dog sled race in Alaska will receive snow by rail. The race starts in Anchorage on Saturday, but snow is melting there, so the Alaska Railroad hauled about 300 cubic yards of snow from Fairbanks to make sure that the race can get underway. A race official says it's never been done before. The Alaska Dispatch News says the section of the race going through Anchorage has been cut from 11 to 3 miles because of lack of snow. 85 mushers and their sled teams are set to be on the starting line on Saturday.
All right, the dogs are ready to go. They just need
that
the snow. That's right. Well, new this morning, a husband and wife facing arson charges will be in court later today in Lexington.
Yeah, police say Angel and China Benitez are accused of reportedly setting a downtown Lexington home on fire last May. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain joins us with more on why investigators say they did it.
Court documents say that couple was coordinating with China's mother, the owner of that home on East 2nd Street. Investigators say the husband and wife duo set that home on fire last May. Now, according to court documents, their reasoning, insurance purposes. Documents show the couple staged the home, painting the word rats on the back porch and breaking windows before setting that home on fire. The documents say that someone came forward and told police the couple moved the furniture out of the home and replaced it with all broken pieces to make it seem like the mother-in-law and younger son were living in the home at the time. Now, multiple witnesses provided statements to police in these documents. Witnesses told police they saw Angel banging on the home and fence with a hammer the day before the fire was set. Now, the two will be arraigned later today here at the Fayette County Courthouse. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
A man accused of robbing a woman in a church parking lot is back in Lexington to face a judge. Robert Schultz and Harvey Smith were arrested last month. Police say the men pulled a knife on a woman outside a church on Winchester Road and stole her purse. They were arrested after a police chase in Scott and Grant counties. Schultz is now in the Lexington Detention Center and will be arraigned on a robbery charge this afternoon.
Garrett County officials are becoming concerned over the growing number of drug overdose deaths there. Lancaster police say they have had 3 suspected drug overdoses since Monday, 2 of which were fatal. And the Garrett County coroner says so far this year there have been 4 suspected heroin deaths in the county. That compares to none all of last year. Trish Caudle says her 22-year-old daughter Jenna died Monday from a suspected overdose. She says the family tried to get Jenna help for her drug abuse, but nothing worked.
We tried. We sent her to Best Blessings Rehab. Her sister here, she done everything possible trying to help her. And it's not the rich, it's not the poor.
The Garrett County coroner says the state medical examiner's office receives about 6 or 7 overdose cases a week.
Well, we've learned of an unusual theft case in Harlan County. The mayor there says he ended up buying his gun back after it was stolen. Everett's mayor, Eddie Manning, says his pistol was stolen from a truck earlier this week, but investigators later found out a group of people were trying to sell the gun. Manning set up a meeting with them while police waited nearby. He says he bought the gun back. Manning says the pistol means a lot to him.
That weapon I purchased when I was about 19 years old. It was my first weapon I'd ever purchased. And, you know, and for me, that was the weapons that one of the weapons that I was going to leave to my children.
Moments after the sale, police arrested the 4 people who had the stolen gun. They're charged with receiving stolen property.
5:39 now on WKYT this morning. State police say a fugitive is now in custody after causing a Laurel County school to go on lockdown. Police say 27-year-old Andrew Reeves of Nicholasville was driving a stolen SUV when they pulled him over on the Hal Rogers Parkway yesterday morning. But then he ran off into a wooded area. As a precaution, the nearby Bush Elementary School went on lockdown during the search. Later in the afternoon, police say they found Reeves hiding inside an abandoned home on Lick Fork Road. He was wanted for parole violations, but police say he is now facing several other charges, including wanton endangerment and fleeing and evading.
Deputies in Laurel County say someone dumped a stolen ATM in a creek. Laurel County Sheriff's Office says that they pulled the machine from Robinson Creek Monday afternoon after someone saw it in the water. Deputies haven't said where the ATM was stolen from. They're still looking for those responsible for stealing it. That would get your attention.
All right, unusual find there. 5:40 now, 20 before 6. Let's check on live drive traffic this morning and see what is going on. Certainly not the problems that we had yesterday morning when that interstate mess that happened out on I-75 and continued throughout the day after a tractor trailer caught fire. Right now we have one issue here, restricted flow of traffic, and that is because it's at Pimlico Parkway. One lane is blocked between Center Parkway and Gainesway Drive. So that's in a relatively lesser traveled area this morning, not a main arterial, but we have no reports of any major problems. Everybody's moving along okay.
Yeah, you know, it's a good day. It's the day before Friday.
A lot more, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Say it again, Friday. I like to hear that. More news coming up, 5:41 right now.
Well, you don't want to mess with this store clerk. Just ahead, a man gets sent running after being denied in an armed robbery. There you go.
And we are tracking perhaps a few light flakes out there across parts of central, eastern Kentucky. And eventually we'll make a transition over to rain and we'll deal with chilly showers. We'll track all of it coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Well, a band of snow showers working its way through the area this morning. So far, no major issues being reported because of that snow. Now, eventually, we're going to have a nice little warmer shot of air. And by warmer, I don't mean we're talking a big significant warm-up. I just mean enough to make anything that falls transition over to rain. So we got to get above that 32-degree mark. So it's not exactly a big push in temperatures for us. At least today, there's a big one coming overall. If you are getting in on some of the snow action, if it's actually reaching the ground in your area, then you're likely just seeing some lighter flakes again. Not a tremendous deal expected out of this. Even if it did start to snow just wide open in most locations, there's not enough moisture for it to cause a major deal. And also, the ground is still relatively warm from the past few days. I know it's gotten colder yesterday especially, but it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, because we've still got some warmer conditions to keep the snow melting. So if it did happen, if you got into a decent little shot of accumulation or accumulation period, it would be more of the slushy type. There you see the rain transition already showing up to our west, out into Missouri and into sections of western Kentucky as well, where that lighter rain is starting to fall. Temperatures have been hovering around freezing for most of us here this morning. Lexington, Mount Sterling, Richmond, Frankfort, and down the road into Danville, all right at 32 degrees, where we find some pockets of 20 still holding on out in eastern Kentucky there. Jackson, Prestonsburg, and Ashland, 25 and 28 degrees. In those spots, here's our hour by hour, still holding on to that light little stripe. Now, what the model has done is it's seeing past some of the snow showers that are just showing up on radar all over the place. What it's doing is picking up on maybe a band that might actually be reaching the ground. Shows that lifting through the area here with the hour by hour. And it shows a little more moisture trying to interact with some of those colder temperatures where we're going to a bit of a rain-snow mix by mid-morning and beyond. And eventually what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of even that chance. It's all going to make that transition over to plain old rain before it's all said and done. Tonight, we're around midnight, maybe a few flakes pass through the area during the overnight hours. And then we get into Friday, starting part of our warm-up, because we got to do it in phases here. We're in the mid-40s, maybe some upper 40s start showing up in the area, and even warmer as we go into our weekend. That's when daytime highs get close to 50 degrees on Saturday with a passing shower or two, a little bit of energy keeping temperatures down because of those showers. But by Sunday, we're in the 50s, and how about trying to get up to right around that 70-degree mark going into your Monday? At least the upper 60s to low 70s, a pretty solid bet there moving into next week. But you got showers and storms that following in. A very stormy period, it looks like, too. A daily chance, guys.
It's what you get this time of year, right?
I mean, you have to, because again, it's the classic battle of the seasons going on.
It's a trade-off.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. 5:47 right now.
Well, a Georgia convenience store clerk quickly becoming a huge sensation after surveillance footage captured her sending a attempted armed robber just running.
She was pretty tough. The footage shows this suspect going to the counter, pretending to make a purchase, and as the clerk opens up the register, the man pulls out a gun. The two exchange some words, and then the clerk slaps the gun in his hand. The clerk struggles to free the gun, so she begins hitting him repeatedly with the register drawer, as you see there. a big struggle. As the thief tries to run off, the clerk grabs a hammer and chases him outside, ready for more. After seeing the footage, police were stunned at the woman's bravery. They say the man got away, but they doubt that he will try to return and rob that store anytime soon.
You just wonder what was going on in her head. Was she just looking at his face thinking, he's just a punk?
Well, I guess she just thought it's not going to happen. Right?
There you go.
Not today.
Don't mess with her. Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
We'll be checking traffic as well, see how things are moving along this morning. We have some health news for you, and our top stories are on the way. Kentucky Morning start right here on WKYT. Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. It's Thursday. I like the way you put it. The day before Friday.
Yes, you know where my head's at, right?
You got it.
Well, let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on.
Well, it's a lot going on this morning. We're still working to find out a reason for Marco Rubio's decision to cancel his trip to Lexington that was set for tomorrow. We've reached out to the senator's campaign. We have not received a response at this point. His decision comes just before Kentucky's Republican caucus that is this Saturday.
Police say husband and wife Angel and China Benitez face arson charges for reportedly setting a Lexington house on fire. According to their arrest citations, the couple set the house on fire for insurance purposes. Both suspects will face a judge this afternoon. So Donald Trump is taking on Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, John Kasich. They're really all taking on each other right at the 11th debate. The GOP debate in Detroit, Michigan tonight.
Could be interesting. Off stage, the billionaire frontrunner has been fending off attacks from other Republican rivals, trying to mount a campaign to blunt his momentum. Former Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney, who ran as the party's standard bearer in 2012, is leading the charge, delivering a speech on the state of the GOP race from Utah later this morning. Investigators are still trying to figure out if debris that washed up in Mozambique last weekend is from the missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. Photos of the debris show what appears to be a part of the tail section of a Boeing 777, an MH370 aircraft. It disappeared 2 years ago with 239 people on board and is the only known missing 777 in the world.
Well, a new study finds it is safe to induce labor in older first-time mothers.
Research in the New England Journal of Medicine tracked more than 600 pregnant women over the age of 35. It found that inducing labor did not lead to negative outcomes for either the mother or baby, and it did not increase the rate of C-sections. Researchers are finding both risks and benefits from drinking moderate amounts of alcohol. A study presented at a session of the American Heart Association finds drinking initially increases the risk of heart attack or stroke, but after 24 hours, that risk goes down and blood flow actually improves. Moderate drinking was defined as up to 6 drinks a week.
A separate study looked at energy drinks and how they may be bad for the heart. Researchers in California studied 27 healthy volunteers. They found drinking 2 cans of energy drink a day may increase the risk of an abnormal heart rhythm and lead to higher blood pressure. 5:54 is the time this morning. Let's get a check right now on today's traffic trouble spots with a look at live drive traffic. Things looking pretty good out there for you this morning. No major issues. Nothing like we were seeing yesterday along I-75 when that road was shut down there at the Paris Pike intersection. That was really backed up into the afternoon. That was a mess. And drive time's looking pretty good there this morning for you. And time to check now what's making news online with Bill.
Yeah, it was about 10 or 12 hours really in getting things moving again on the interstate. You'll find all the latest news at WKYT.com. We are tracking down the reason this morning as to why presidential candidate Marco Rubio canceled that campaign event in Lexington. It was supposed to be tomorrow on the eve of Saturday's Kentucky Republican caucus. And by the way, if you're needing info about the caucus, we have that on our website as well. And WKYT News will have coverage throughout Saturday and a special report with caucus results Saturday evening at 7, so we hope you'll tune in for that. Also trending, the details about how a man set himself on fire at a Lexington intersection before a firefighter and some other witnesses stepped in to save him. Also on WKYT.com, developer Dudley Webb claims that work has started again at the long-dormant Centerpoint development in downtown Lexington. We've been taking video, looking at it from various various angles trying to verify exactly what is going on there, and we'll continue to do that and ask questions. On Kentucky.com, a new report shows the sharp decline in production of coal in eastern Kentucky over the years. It says only 4% of the nation's coal now comes from the hills of Kentucky, and that's down from 13% back in 1984. Over in Frankfort, bills are being filed to allow charter schools in Kentucky. Under one of the proposals, charter schools would be part of the state's system of public education, but they would be exempt from some laws and regulations. And CBS This Morning is on the way at 7 with your eye opener, and of course we'll have local updates. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest news anytime, WKYT.com.
And tracking a few flakes of snow across parts of central and into eastern Kentucky here on this Thursday morning. Very light in nature if you're getting anything at all. That's the thing. These are hit and miss as far as what's actually reaching the ground across most of the area. But still, we continue tracking it here at Lexington to Winchester, Mount Sterling toward Paris. All the areas covered up on radar at least, but again, a lot of it not making its way to the ground. We are sure glad you're along with us here on WKYT this morning. We've got a whole lot more, so stay right there with us.